Welcome to Quality Perks, the podcast that not only delves into the intricacies of contact center quality management, but also uncovers the personal stories of industry leaders. Brought to you by BPA Quality, your trusted partner in enhancing customer experiences.
Hello and good morning. This is Quality Perks. I'm Karen Ep3, your host. We have to my right, Neil Eggers.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, Neil Eggers here at BPA Quality. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. And we also have Milan. Milan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Karen and Neil, thank you for having me on today. I'm excited to be here. So my name is Milan Batinich. I'm a Vice President of Business Development with Callzilla, and also founder and owner of Milan Motivates, a motivational speaking company. So yeah, happy to be here.
And where are you located?
I am in a suburb of Madison, Wisconsin.
All right, nice to know. And I'm here in Melbourne, Florida. And Karen, you are located where?
I'm sorry, and I'm having technical difficulties in LinkedIn, but I am located in Virginia on the coast, right outside of Norfolk and Virginia Beach.
Awesome. So we've got Central and the East Coast covered. So Milan, we always start this off, as you know, with a little discussion about our coffee, right? So Quality Perks, coffee, tea, Red Bull, whatever you may have in the morning. What is your choice of beverage on a typical morning, and then also today?
Okay, so on a typical morning, little Monster action.
All right.
Okay. And then today I have from my Keurig, a black coffee. So when I drink coffee, I just like it straight.
Now, what flavor coffee? So you drop the pod in the Keurig. What is it? Putting you on the spot.
Whatever,
like Kona?
Whatever my wife dropped into the Keurig.
Nice. Nice. So you have some homework. So I expect a comment when this is posted on LinkedIn.
Absolutely.
To tell the audience what you drink, and we'll be good to go.
Okay, got it. It's nice. Strong. I know it's strong. I'm awake.
That works. That's all that matters. So I've got, I was on holiday last week in good old Strathmere, New Jersey for a family reunion. So I've got my Strathmere, New Jersey cup, and in it is Ocean City Coffee Company. So I feel like every show in the summer when I go to New Jersey for holiday, I come back and it's always Ocean City Coffee Company, brewed right on the boardwalk. It's good stuff. So I'm happy to have several bags of that into the cabinet because I drink coffee all day long. So I need a lot of it.
Yes.
Karen, what do you have today? Do you want me to guess, or do you want to?
You
want
go
to just
for
tell
it.
us?
Go ahead if you want to guess.
It's also something out of the Keurig. It might be a Kona with some type of creamer.
It is my go-to, so it'll been easy for you. It's my Rainforest blend in my Keurig. So in the biodegradable cups.
Of course.
So I'm, being green conscious. And I'm drinking it with my almond milk vanilla creamer.
All right.
And in the future is female mug. So all
awesome
females out there.
Oh, that
sounds like a perfect blend of everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is awesome. Is the Rainforest blend, is that from the Kona brand, or is Rainforest blend its own brand?
It is by San Francisco.
Okay.
Coffee brewery.
So. Okay.
Nice.
And Neil and Karen, my apologies. I did not mention my mug. It is a mug that it's all black and has sun on one side and moon on the other. But as it heats up, it shows the moon. So you can see how far I've drank down.
Nice.
High tech.
It's cooled down up here.
Right. Very nice. So now that we've covered the important stuff, let's get to some conversations about contact centers and quality monitoring and behavior analytics and all that type of good stuff. So we've spent a couple of weeks talking about employee engagement different types of roles and experiences expertise, that you have within the employee engagement world, and how important that is. It's always been important, but even in this post-COVID world that we're living in, where employees are remote or hybrid, and engagement models are so much more important with employees. So I know it's near and dear to your heart. So talk to us a little bit about what you use in that employee engagement arena to connect with your employees and fill that gap.
Yeah, absolutely. Great kickoff question. Once we got past our coffee,
right?
So I've used different tools in the past. There's tools like behavioral assessment tools and analytic tools like Myers-Briggs, DISC, predictive index, which is PI. That's one I'm a big fan of. That one has helped me a ton. And, for years, when I got into leadership and contact centers years ago, I was always told, well, you have to lead utilizing the golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated, which is great if everybody else wants to be treated, all your employees want to be treated the same way that you do, which 99% of the time is not the case. They do not want to be treated the way that you want to be treated. So really it's, to be able to engage employees now, especially post-COVID, it's really utilizing the platinum rule, which is treat people the way they want and the way they need to be treated. So instead of treating others the way I want to be treated or need to be treated, it's really figuring out the employee and what is it that they need, what is it that they want, and treating them the way that they want to be treated. And by being able to adapt and adjust to each individual employee, then you can manage them the way they need to be managed. And when an employee is managed that way, they're going to be more bought into the company, into the role, into their manager, and they are going to be highly engaged or much more engaged in the work that they're doing and in the company because they're being treated the way they want and need to be treated. So really that's, the platinum rule is definitely something that I've lived by the last several years. And it's something I wish I knew when I first got into contact center leadership, because, I had at one point 60 agents and I would share information and communicate a certain way based on the way I thought I would enjoy the communication. And I'd have, it was a sales center. So I would have 40 people. They were like, motivated. Or I would hope I had 40 people motivated. And then 10 would be indifferent. Like, it is what it is. And then I'd have 10 that would say, wow, I hate that guy. I need to go on Career Builder and Monster and look for a new job. And back then Craigslist. Right. Look for a new role because this guy doesn't get me. So really it's adapting to the employee.
How do you go about identifying the communication preferences of individuals? How do you know how to do that? How does the process start?
Yeah, so you can use the different tools I mentioned earlier. If you don't have specific tools, it really comes down to communication. And there's a 3-letter word out there that a lot of employers, a lot of people in leadership don't do, and it's ask. ASK. Very simple. Just ask employees, the way they prefer to receive communication, the way they prefer to be managed. Over time, as you get to know people, a lot of times you can read or understand who they are just by communicating with them and figure out, okay, maybe they need a little bit more detailed information, or maybe this person, would do better without the detailed information, or, give them a pat on the back, where other people, that's the last thing they care about is a pat on the back or accolades. So it's really figuring out what makes this person tick and what motivates them, and then you using that and how you manage them. But the best way or the easiest way, quickest way to figure that out is just by having a conversation with them and communicating with them.
What type of positive results yield from that? It's pretty self-explanatory, but in your experience in working with different organizations, what can contact centers expect to achieve by having a more inline communication style with individuals, as opposed to numbers on the wall, AHT and, all these different metrics that drive contact centers. And we're constantly pointing to those things. But I'm almost thinking, as we're talking about, there's that correlation between getting away from AHT, right? Not caring, developing more of a relationship with our customers. That's what's important. It's solving the problem correctly the first time in an efficient manner without having the almighty clock ticking in the background all the time, which drives a lot of inefficiency and customer dissatisfaction. So I guess my question's going to, with that type of methodology of getting to know your agent and communicating with them in the way that they want to be communicated with or that they prefer, does that result into better metrics on the contact center floor with customers?
It does.
Relationships, problem resolution, those types of things.
Yeah, definitely. So what I've seen over the years is, besides higher employee engagement, higher employee retention. So, it lowers attrition. People aren't looking for another job because they're happy with the job they're doing or where they're working. In addition to that, when people have that joy at work, and they're in a job that they are having fun at, or it's a good fit for who they naturally are, they're going to be energized by it. And typically when that happens, there's a correlation to their productivity. So their production increases. Typically, when they gain that energy at work, they're going to perform better. I've seen it with some contact centers where first call resolution has increased. I saw it with a contact center in Austin, Texas, when they started managing the way the employees needed to be managed, and motivating them appropriately. It was an inbound sales center. So they were selling products on an inbound line. And, they saw their top line revenue triple in the first year. They lowered their attrition by like 10 times. It was insane. And it was all around communication and motivating employees the way they needed to be motivated. A lot of times in those centers or other centers, people think, oh, they're motivated by the paycheck or commission or whatever it might be. Or they're motivated by avoiding punishments. And that is no way. I'm sure most people watching or listening know that you can't genuinely motivate employees by threats or by helping them or motivating them to avoid punishments,
Yeah, for sure.
I remember when I was an agent and I worked in a contact center, and I had like an internal clock in my head. And when I was in ACW, just counting down how many seconds I had before I had to get out of ACW.
Right. Yeah. And one of the things we talk about a lot is, even from the hiring process, if you're an organization that has that methodology, that employee engagement methodology, and you evangelize about it, and it's a part, of the fabric of everything that you do, employees are interviewing, prospects are interviewing companies just as much as the company's interviewing, the employee. So if an organization has that type of methodology woven into the fabric of everything that they do, that's going to be more attractive to that potential new hire, because they know that that's the type of engagement that they're going to be getting, as opposed to the churn and burn contact center. I think that those days are long gone, unless you're comfortable with that.
Right. And people talk, and your reputation about around your culture permeates throughout the community that you're in. So, if you're a contact center in Green Bay, Wisconsin, small town, 100,000 people, if you have a good culture, that's going to permeate, and it's going to, get through to the community. If you have a poor culture, same thing. And then there's contact centers like, I think of Zappos, that developed early on with Tony Hsieh, developed an amazing culture. And there was people moving there from across country just to take a job as a call center agent because they wanted to be a part of the Zappos culture in Las Vegas. So I think, to your point, that the culture, the understanding or knowing, like, if I go work there, I'm going to be happy because of the way they treat their employees.
Right. And then that, as we've talked earlier, then that benefits everything, retention, and most importantly, the relationship with the customers. That, these are the folks that are talking to the customers. It's not the C-suite. It's your agents on the floor who are the most important. They're talking to your customers, resolving their issues and building the relationships.
Neil, say it again for those in the back about the frontline agents being the most important. Absolutely.
Yeah, we've got to take care of the people who are talking to your customers, because again, like you just said, word travels fast. So one post on Twitter or any social media platform about it, an uncomfortable experience magnifies itself, times 1,000. So we go back to vehicles again for determining these personality types, and our very own Karen Dupree took the assessment or a
Wow.
assessment yesterday.
Oh, all right, Karen.
So let's do a little on the spot kind of psychological behavior analysis
All right.
by Milan to Karen. So Karen, what did you find when you took your exam yesterday? Let's see if I can stress you out by using
Yes.
irritators like exam.
Yes, I hate exams.
I love it.
So mine came out, and it was the free one, so it was just the 2 questions, and it.
All right, good caveat. All right,
yeah.
And Karen, if I can add on to your caveats for predictive index, that's the one you are talking about. It is only 2 questions, so
Okay.
you did the full one, but we won't tell the audience that.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Good.
Okay,
That's an
I'll
outtake.
let you want me to edit. Okay. So, with that being said, it says that I'm an individualist. So I'm definitely I'm a creative person, and out of the box thinker, which I think annoys Neil sometimes because I'm like, hey, what if we do this? And he's like, we don't have time for that.
I'm not the one being analyzed here. This is
sorry.
Milan and Karen.
Karen, is your can you see your pattern? The 4 dots, the A, B, C, and D?
No.
Oh, okay.
So that's probably why. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Keep going. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. You're the expert. And I just took the test. So.
Okay. So when we look at human behaviors and motivations, there's 4 primary natural drives that these assessments measure, and different companies call them different things. And based on those drives, it determines what your needs are, and then your needs cause behaviors. So it looks at how your drive to acquire and to achieve. So kind of your dominance. Looks at how much social interaction you need with other people. Looks at how much patience you have, and the type of work environment that would be best suited for you. Really unleashes everything that you are, who you are, and then your formality or your attention to detail, how detail oriented you are, how many rules you need to follow. So there's within PI, there's 17 different profiles. So an individualist is one of 17. And yeah, just the way you described it, you're somebody that's going to be more task oriented. So you're going to get stuff done. You're also going to be the type of person where you'll be a little bit more risk tolerant, kind of goes with the outside the box thinking, well, let's try it. If it doesn't work, then let's just try something else. So you're a little bit more flexible. When it comes to roles, I would say an individualist, you're the type of person where you'll follow the rules if you're philosophically aligned. So if you agree with the rule, then you'll follow it. If you disagree with the rule, it's not that you won't follow the rule, but you'll voice your opinion or that you disagree with the rule. And here's why you disagree, and here's how you think it would be a better rule, and what changes can be implemented to that rule. So definitely you don't mind, or you're willing to share your opinions, and like you said, outside the box thinker, creative, definitely. And when it comes to failure, typically you'll be undaunted. So if you have an idea, you try it and you fail, you're not going to hit a brick wall. Some people hit that brick wall and they're like, well, I failed, I'm done. You'll hit that wall and then you just keep going through, and you're like, all right, let's try something different, and let's switch it up. Let's modify.
That's me. Sometimes I think I should have been an engineer.
I'm just trying to keep quiet and not get myself in trouble at 11 o'clock on a Thursday morning. But I think that's spot on, Karen. I think the analysis. Do you agree with?
I do. I'm a little bit less. I'm analytical and the factual part, but I also have this I'm a Gemini. I don't know if that probably has nothing to do with it, but I have this dual personality. So I'm kind of free thinking as well. So that's the only thing that I would add to my personality trait of the individualist. And so, yeah, I thought it was pretty good. And I was hoping Neil would do it so we could.
I'll do it I love this stuff as Milan was talking through it. I really do love this. So I will take it post show and I will put my result in the comments section of the LinkedIn feed. And then you could do a full-blown analysis.
Perfect.
For the world
to see. My guess is, based on Karen, you doing it, a little bit more risk tolerant. I'm going to guess that Neil's going to be a little bit more cautious with the risk, saying he'll do it after he heard the analysis of you.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm not
You
doing
go first.
You go first. I mean, if it sounds accurate, then maybe I'll do it. If Milan's nice about it and doesn't use a lot of negative connotations, then maybe I'll do it.
I bought into what you were saying about Karen, so now I'll do it.
Perfect. Yeah. That's good.
So we're getting near the end of our show here, and it's so as we're into July. So Milan, are you going to be anywhere in the next couple of months, speaking, presenting, representing?
Yeah. So
where are you going to be?
Summertime's a little bit slower. In September, though, I have 3 conferences in the same week. The week of September 10th or 11th.
That sounds like that.
Yeah, I know I don't know if I'm going to be speaking there, but I know with Callzilla we'll be exhibiting and representing at the SOCAP Symposium in Tampa, Florida.
We'll be there as well.
Oh, awesome. Well, I'll see you there. And then that ends Tuesday evening, the 12th. And then on the 13th, I fly to Austin, Texas. And on Thursday, September 14th, I'm speaking at the Austin Contact Center Alliance Symposium in the morning. And in the afternoon, I'm speaking at UCX USA. So it worked out nicely that both conferences are the same day in Austin, Texas.
Right.
Yeah. Keep it weird.
Yeah.
Keep it weird. For those that don't know, that's Austin's slogan.
Yeah, not what you're presenting on.
No. Right. Oh my goodness.
Sorry. I should preface.
Well, we managed 21 minutes of keeping it on the rails before it came off. So that's based on our earlier conversations. I think we should be proud, the 3 of us, that we made it 21 minutes.
I'm very pleased. I don't know if pleased is the right word. I'm surprised.
Right.
That we survived that long.
Yeah.
Well,
very much.
I could go all day. Let's do it.
Right. Yeah. I think that social media might get mad at us. But with that, I'll bring us to a close. Milan, thank you so much for joining us here on Quality Perks. Really enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you for having me.
We look forward to seeing you at SOCAP here in September. And a shameless plug for our next episode coming up in a couple of weeks. We have another good SOCAPper from Jabra who's going to be joining us. So we're looking forward to that. Stay tuned for that next episode.
Yep.
So Karen, anything else to add before we sign off?
Nope. Looking forward to a great summer. Milan, I loved our conversation. Hopefully we have more of these, and maybe we can even do a live one at SOCAP. That would be fun.
Oh, let's do it. That'd be great.
Partnership. Yeah. Happy 4th
Thinking
of
outside
July.
the box.
Yeah. How about you 2 do it, and if it works, he'll join you.
Yeah, Neil will stand in the shadows watching, and then he'll hop in and be like, "Sorry, I'm late, guys. This seems like it's going well."
Right at the end,
he'll bring the camera. He'll hold the camera and he'll hold the mic. How about that?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Going to be what is his name? Insult dog or whatever.
Yeah, and then he can, if he has something to say, then he can just turn the microphone towards himself.
Exactly.
Only after I see that's working well.
Right. Exactly.
Awesome.
We'll make it look easy.
Well, happy 4th of July to the 2 of you. If you're traveling, travel safe. And thanks again. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.